So like I was saying,
Oh, we haven't started yet. Okay.
No, we haven't. But these are gonna be probably bloopers. So we could use these as bloopers or whatever, or the after before the intro. So when I competed, I felt like there was no break. It was like, yo, back. I'm like, Jesus. And I'm doing like, I did like 5 in a row. I'm like, good Lord. And I'm like, Jesus. I was dying. I was dying. But my main thing was my forearms. They were on fire. And I was like, God, I'm like, this sucks. And I was like, maybe, man, I should have done more of like forearm, forearm workouts. And I was like, Jesus, sucks. Because my recovery from my breathing was good. I was good with that because of like Muay Thai and stuff like that. They make you like, the breathing is different in Muay Thai where it's high, where it's more like high level than in Jiu-Jitsu where you can just like pace it, and stuff like that. But apparently I was in the adult group and I was probably the oldest dude there. So I was going against like big young guys, not big old guys. So those guys were like explosive. And I was like, all right, let me bring out my 20-year-old for like a good 30 minutes.
And did you get second or third in that bracket?
I came third.
And, oh, wow. And you went up against in the adults. Yeah, that's not bad. That's actually pretty good.
Adults. And which it was freaking me out because it was like, you're doing adults? I'm like, yeah, you registered wrong. I'm like, okay, what's the problem? And they're like, oh, it says 30 and no weight limit. I was like, he goes, someone told me like real quick, it was like, you'll probably be rolling around with like 18-year-olds that are like 300, 400 pounds. And I was like, okay, that's not an issue with me. And then I started realizing like, okay, that is an issue because these guys have so much energy. And it's true. Like, the guy that got second place in my that dude was like explosive and strong, man. I was like, man. But I couldn't listen to Sugi and that's where I messed up. And I look back at the video, I'm like, man, if I only did this little thing, just turn this way, it would have been game over. And with the big guy, I shouldn't have, did what I did. And I was like, all right, let me take it easy. I should have played the waiting game on him, honestly, because he was so big and had him messed up and then just put my whole body on top of his head and then he would have been fine. And he was wearing a mask that day too, man. I was mad.
So this is my third competition now. So one thing I've noticed is that this time I went to 40 and over, right? And at 40, I thought at first I saw my opponent, I was like, oh man, this guy looks old. It should be easy. But I went against him and he was probably the strongest 185er I've ever met before. And I asked him what he does after the match. And he was like, oh, I lift heavy machinery. I'm like, oh, no wonder. Yeah. I couldn't move that guy an inch at all. He wouldn't, like, I tried all kinds of sweeps. He wouldn't move.
Yeah.
So he was probably the strongest guy I ever met. So he had that. Yeah. Go ahead.
So if you wanna be a strong big boy like naturally, just do like a blue collar job, man. Honestly, like plumber or lifting heavy equipment and stuff like that. Because I'm a technician myself, and I pick up tires, engine blocks, and transmissions, and I'm always like with my wrenches. That's why my hand grips are like so like I can rip someone's hand off easy. I'm like ha.
Yeah, you got that grip strength. Yeah, you guys have that grip strength if you do that when you start lifting.
But some of these Mongolian guys do granite work, so their hands are super rough and they're tight. And it's like, all right, let me see what my mechanic hands can do. Look at these. These are my bad boys.
You said they do what? What work?
Granite work. Granites.
They lift the heavy stone. Yeah, that's heavy.
Is that like
that's heavy.
Is that like a Mongolian thing, to do granite work?
No. It's one of them owns a business where they cut like granite tabletops and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
And I think pretty much all of them work there, or the large majority of them do.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
All
right.
right, Thomas.
Next time.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay,
Very good.
hold on.
All right, Thomas. Intro time.
The intro.
Yeah, we went all over the place in the beginning. So let's let Thomas control everything.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Reel it
Okay.
back in,
All right.
Thomas.
Welcome to the Booze and BJJ podcast. I don't remember my name. I don't even know who I am right now. I think I need a nap. We have a panel of 4 tonight, which is pretty cool. The usuals, Frankie, Wole, and this guy who I guess he's Chinese, but sorry, bad jokes. He's Korean. It's Gil. But yeah, so we got a good couple of topics to talk about tonight. And the main one that I wanted to talk about is whether or not we are confident as BJJ practitioners that if we had to defend ourselves, if we were confident that we could. Because I have some thoughts about that, and I'd like to hear everybody's. But first, let's go through everyone's week. Frankie, how'd your week go?
Very good. I'm trying to recover from this injury that I had tournament towards my mid back. I think it's a tight muscle that I pulled or something like that, and I've been trying to deal with it. But I still been showing up to train, still been showing up to clean out my jiu-jitsu, so to say. And I am drinking a Shirley Temple, thanks to my lovely daughter. She makes the killer Shirley Temple. She was like, Dad, Shirley Temple. I'm like, I haven't had a Shirley Temple since I was like 7, but yeah, hit me up. But yeah, other than that, training's been good, and I'm trying to hopefully get into the one, I think next month or the month after that. I don't know, one of those two.
Copa, Virginia, I think it is.
Copa?
Yeah, I think Copa,
Yeah, but I think a bunch of guys at Pentagon are going there too.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Wole, how's your week going?
Who, me?
Yeah, how's your week going?
I didn't hear about you. It's okay. Gotta train a bit. Yeah, I was gonna go tonight, but couldn't make it. I think they switched up the format to like competition.
Yeah, it's competition training. It's a lot more intensity today.
Yeah, that's good. I need more of that. Yeah, just trying to get some really good hard rolls in. I may or may not be starting back competitions in May. So just trying to get my nutrition down, get my exercise down, lifting and all that stuff. So yeah.
Nice.
You good? Are you drinking anything tonight?
Rum and Coke. No, not sorry. Bourbon and Coke in the red cup.
See, he's so out of it right now that he doesn't even know what he's called, what he's drinking, blah blah blah.
I know. How
much
what is this?
What day is it?
How much you drink, Wally? You drink?
I usually don't drink that much. I used to drink a lot more at the beginning of the pandemic. So like my drinking went from just kind of regular to beginning of the pandemic, it went up, and then now it's kind of tapering down. So maybe once a week. Yeah.
Gil, how'd your week go?
So I had my third competition, second competition in 2 weeks. This past Saturday, and work got most of me. I couldn't train Monday and Wednesday. Usually I try to go Monday, Wednesday. I couldn't go, and then I finally made it today. And I made the mistake of eating Wendy's right before class. And yeah,
spicy chicken.
No, it was just the same. I just had a bacon burger or something. Yeah, but I shouldn't have done that right before class. I really felt
that
Baconator.
That thing is heavy. That
thing
is
during the last
heavy, man.
Yeah, I
So-
felt it.
so-
I rolled with Andre my last roll, and I really that guy has a lot of energy.
He's lagging pretty bad, isn't he?
So he really made me.
Yeah, sometimes like I eat before training and someone does knee on belly and I feel like it's gonna come out the other way.
Yeah,
Just,
I know.
Out of every orifice.
So
I think it's like you shouldn't eat like 2 hours like before training, minimum 2
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
So my week was weird, training wise. My knee was feeling wonky on Monday, so I didn't go to Pentagon. I went to Pentagon for the 5:30 a.m. class, which was actually pretty cool. Coach Chris taught some standing self-defense stuff. Like we did a lot of standing techniques, which was refreshing. I will not name who it was, but one of the guy I was partnered with picked me up and ripped a loud one. Like everybody on our half of the mat heard it. And he tried to blame it on me. I was like, dude. And he owned up to it, which was like, it was just pretty funny. But yeah, and then I went and trained later Tuesday night, which I thought would be a bad idea, but it was actually not so bad. And then Thursday trained, and then that was it. I was going to go to Pentagon today, but I had my boys with me, and they were horrible kids. But
nah, they're not horrible, man. Don't say that.
All right, they're mostly horrible.
No. They're boys.
Some days they're horrible.
No, boys will be boys.
All right, they're mostly good. Yeah, is that acceptable?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so gentlemen, let's get on this topic here because
hold on.
Sure.
Congrats to the guys and girls that got stripes this Thursday at Chantilly MMA. So if you guys are watching,
nice.
congrats.
All right.
All right. Shoot it, Thomas.
All right, so
Let's go.
I actually think this is something that we should talk about because, I've noticed that there are a lot of people who've been doing BJJ, maybe 2 years or less, even like less than that, maybe 6 months or less, who've made comments akin to, yeah, if I was in this scenario and somebody was attacking me, I could totally defend myself. But I'm not so sure about that because when you watch these folks roll with somebody who's fresh on the door, like doesn't know any BJJ, they somewhat don't do so well. And that's just under a grappling rule set. Imagine going out onto the sidewalk or the street or whatever, and somebody is just straight up attacking you with no rules on the table. Now, with you gentlemen, since we have a wide range of experience here, strictly in a BJJ context, do you think that your BJJ is solid enough that you could defend yourself if need be on the street? Let's start with Wole.
Against an unexperienced person?
Against any random, let's start with an unexperienced person. Yes.
I think so. I've never, well, maybe when I was a kid, I was in 1 or 2 fights, but I'm not a fighter, I'm a lover, right? But I would say...
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. There's a comment about that. And who said it, man? God, the guy that did Constantine. What's his name?
Keanu Reeves?
Help me out. Yeah, Keanu Reeves said, he said, if you're not a fighter, then what would you fight for? Or something like in that term, but it like love and fight go hand in hand. So don't forget that. But go ahead.
I would think that I would hope that against an unskilled opponent that my jiu-jitsu would work. Obviously against someone skilled, it's probably 50-50, chance. I don't know. It's a hard thing, I think you kind of have to be in a lot more fights to kind of gauge your your response.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of times people don't they don't account for things like adrenaline, environment, the skill level of the other person. There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into the fight, and everybody says, yeah, if I was in a fight, I'll do this and this and that. Like, that's not happening. Everything's out the window when you're in a fight.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, against an unskilled person, probably. Against somebody who's a bit more skilled, maybe against someone who isn't
Well, hold on.
doesn't have martial arts training, maybe. But it's not obviously someone who has martial arts training. Probably not. It's
The question about a skilled opponent is going to be next. So we're going to focus on unskilled right now. Yeah. So we'll dig into that in a moment.
Unskilled, yes.
Okay. All right, Gil, what do you think?
So I've thought about this before too. So if I go to a bar and someone starts doing this to me, my first reaction is I'm just gonna run away. Why bother, right? I have nothing to prove against this guy, right? Plus, what this guy's background is, he could be Master Sugi, and then I'm fucked if that happens, So, like, I don't want. Normally, I would not take the risk, and I would just run. But if the situation where I have to fight, hold on a second.
Yeah, I think you need to modify the rules where it's a situation where you have to fight.
Yeah, this topic is gonna be the way we're doing it right now. It's very, very.
All right, we'll amend it. So it's a situation where you have to fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Gil just.
Gil, did you lag out?
I think he tapped out a little bit there.
Great, Frankie, go ahead and answer.
Okay. So I can say yes. I can say my striking and jiu-jitsu, it's like second nature to me. I have been in situations where I've had to use my martial arts.
Sorry.
Hold on, Gil. We'll get back to you in a second.
Okay.
Frankie's not sure.
Come back to me later. Yep.
Yeah.
So I've had to use my martial arts, and I could tell you these stories a bit on tonight, but I think I am confident enough that my martial arts would have come out, and no problem. But once again, I try to avoid situations. I try to avoid conflict. I try to avoid, whatever. But if I see something that is coming towards me, and there is a bubble around me, and there's a certain distance, and I know about distance and range, where I'm like, okay, if you're too close to me and you're threatening me, it's gonna happen. And if you hit me first, you better hope you knock me out. If not, it's gonna be a bad night for you and me.
Yeah. So we got.
But I am very confident in my martial arts and my abilities to engage it.
So we got a yes from Wole. Is that correct?
Unskilled, yes.
Yes. And a yes from Frankie?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Gil, go ahead and do your answer.
Yeah, that's a yes for me too. If I know the guy's unskilled and he starts grabbing me something or I can't run away anymore, then I have no choice but to probably submit him or something. So yeah, if I know he's unskilled, the answer is yes.
Okay, so that's 3 yeses.
Yeah.
I was running away first though.
My thing is, it's like, I don't know what this guy knows. I don't know if he's world champ of BJJ or a well-rounded Muay Thai person. I don't know that. So I'm going to use my skills as much as I know, and then if it turns into a brawl, but I'm not planning anything. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to, put him in an arm bar, or I'm going to put him in a triangle. No, I don't know that. All I know is that I need to defend myself, and whatever I need to do to defend myself, that's what I do. But when people start playing out scenarios in their head, that's not realistic.
What if he's like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's like all those guys who plan for zombie apocalypses, you know. Do they actually think they're gonna have a planned out thing that's gonna go from point A to point B without any hiccups? Like honestly,
I think
go ahead.
I think that's where people that's where the disconnect is. When you're doing a competition, there are rules, and you have, you plan, you can make a plan. If this person does this, you're gonna do that. That's great. Yeah. But out in the street where there are no rules, and I don't know, you can even go up against an unskilled person, and they happen to pick up a pipe and smack it across your head.
Yeah.
You just can't really tell. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that got me thinking about this topic was I was rolling with a new guy, and my knee hit the mat. My knee was feeling pretty good, but it hit the mat really hard, and I couldn't really use my left leg for a couple minutes, and he basically just steamrolled me. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, if this were, some encounter out in the real world, like I would have had my ass whooped, without using less colorful language. So I thought about it, and I was like, is BJJ or a martial or any kind of combat sport really giving a lot of folks like a false sense of invincibility, like a false sense of confidence? Because rolling with each other, we do various levels of good and bad, right? But we're not hitting each other. We're not kicking each other. We're just strictly doing a grappling skill set. Like Gil versus me, under BJJ rules, I'm probably going to have a higher percentage of defeating Gil. But you throw in some sort of striking, and Gil will have the advantage because he's going to know just to kick the crap out of my knees so I can't stand, right?
Yeah.
So you change the skill set, change the environment, change the rules, and then the scenario changes. The scenario becomes different. So that's what my primary concern is, because I've heard a lot of white belts, a lot of guys, they start executing some techniques, and then all of a sudden they think they can take on the world. And I believe that's why upper belts need to temper that.
Yes.
There's a question. The next question would be, well, is it fair or is it right for an upper belt just to completely, steamroll somebody of a lesser belt?
Yeah,
I don't think
you're making tonight hard, very hard tonight, man. God.
Why?
Okay.
I think a lot of times I think it depends on the attitude of the other person. If the other person is if the other person's a dick, then the enforcer needs to take care of that.
Right.
But if they don't know better, or you get 2 warnings. Like if you don't know better, you get 2 warnings. If you keep doing it after that, then you're doing it intentionally, in my mind, and then it's on. But if you really don't know what you're doing, and if someone says, "Hey, cool it," and you change, okay, I'll let it go. Yeah. But it really depends on the attitude of the other person.
Yeah.
I agree with
Frankie.
I agree with Wole on that one, man. Because let's say a white belt comes in here and is trying to rip someone's shoulder off, and then you're like, "Yo, what are you doing, man?" So I'm gonna call out to my higher. I'll call T Tom, like, "Yo, Tom, can you go take care of that, man? Just teach him a lesson or something like that." And some people have done that to me when it's from the Muay Thai. That, hey, can you go calm that person down or whatnot? And we end up doing it, and then they they turn down the volume after you do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I agree on Wole. It depends on the situation and and who it is that you're gonna turn that on.
I have fantasies of being the mad enforcer. I want to be the enforcer so bad.
What?
I wish we had the Hitman shirt or something like that. Hitman. Like, yo, if anybody has like an issue, be like, yo, look for the Hitman shirt. Call him, tell him what's going on, and he'll take care of it.
Real quick, one of the things I have in the pipeline is t-shirts, merchandise.
Oh,
and
okay.
Matt Enforcer is one of them.
Do you have one that says old Matt Enforcer? Please don't break me.
Senior.
Oh, senior Matt Enforcer. No, but I will soon, because it's actually pretty funny and accurate. It's like, I'm gonna enforce this mat, but stay away from both of my knees because I want to walk tomorrow or something.
or have this, have yellow and red card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is the next step endorsements?
I don't know. I just want t-shirts. Baby steps. But yeah, so Frankie, did you have an issue with anything I was saying? Like, did you disagree with anything?
No, it's just a tough subject, man, because you're like, oh, if it's a beginner, advanced, or stuff like that, or like in Wole's situation, he said it right, but in the outside world, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna happen the moment you walk out that door.
Right.
Right. So
there's like, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're if you're like if you have this fantasy of, I've done this for 6 months, I could defend myself. No. It takes years and years and years of practice to build up that confidence. And martial arts does build up confidence. Don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of people that have come in to a gym like a little baby little chick, and now these people are, now you look at them, man, they walk into a room and it's like, yo, like, hey, look, it's Wole, hey. When Wole walks into the room, it's like, hey, Wole. It's because of that confidence. He walks in with confidence, knowing that, hey, so it builds up confidence. But when you're in the streets, you gotta have that confidence. If you're gonna fight, you can't think about, oh, I'm gonna do a double leg or arm bar. No, I'm gonna defend myself. So.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Like something I was gonna say earlier is, because I've actually gained some confidence from knowing martial arts. Like I can walk into a room and I think I can rightfully assess people who I can take and who I can't. I mean, before I took martial arts, I probably didn't have that skill set. But now I can kind of assess, like, okay, if this person comes at me, all right, it's on. Or if this person comes at me, I'm gonna back off, But I think, it's like you're saying, it's confidence. It takes a lot of years to build that. But then there's just like so much chance in a street fight, and when you're in a street fight, it's a matter of survival. You can't think of like you're saying, Frankie, you can't think of, I'm gonna armbar this dude, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You just need to survive at the end of the day.
Yeah. That's why when I'm out in public, I try to stay to myself. I'm a big guy. But when I'm at a bar, at a club, and stuff like that, people look at me like, yo, that dude's a bad dude right there, so I want to go pick a fight with him. I have my, you come closer than this, or you come, I won't say, stay away. But the moment that you put your hands up or you're striking me, you step into my bubble, I'm hitting you back.
So, one of the interesting things is, speaking about confidence, my cousin Kempton, who started training.
Yes.
One of the reasons why I've been trying to get him into jiu-jitsu for a very long time, but he just never synced up. But when it finally did, I can see his demeanor improve. Like his confidence level is incrementally coming up to the point where, like, he's trying new stuff when we roll. And before he would just sit there and let me sit on him. But
yeah, I was the same way when it came to jiu-jitsu. And Thomas, you said this weekend on how I'm being more committed and stuff like that. It's because now that I competed, now that I know that I still have some kind of skills, then I'm starting to build up that confidence a little more. You know,
Yeah.
and Muay Thai, I'll do some crazy stuff just to test out things, you know, because I'm confident that hey, I can still defend myself even if I do try something a little crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
but
you've started like being more deliberate with your movements, more deliberate with your techniques, and you're actually trying stuff that you didn't before, and the duration between what you're doing is like shrinking. So that's good improvement. Hey, Gil, how do you think your confidence has improved since you started BJJ?
I think in the beginning, I used to be one of those spazzy white belts. I think not too long ago, actually.
We were all there.
Yeah, but now I see myself like handling like new guys pretty easily now. Like, so now I'm at the point where I try to actually match. I don't try to steamroll them anymore. I'm trying to, like, if I roll with like smaller people, I will purposely match their strength level, just so that I don't smash them. Like, if I just smash them, what am I learning? Like, both of us aren't learning anything. I'm just stalling there, right? If I'm just gonna use my weight and smash them, right? So I purposely don't do that anymore against smaller people. And I think I'm like, I handle like newer people easily now. So I think that's where I gain my confidence.
Good.
I think
I can see myself improving. Yeah.
When I roll with people, especially people I don't know, the first round or second round, I kind of, assess their skill level, I assess their attitude, and assess their weight and all that stuff, and then I try and match it. So it goes back to like, hey, first time we roll, second time we roll, if you're being a dick, then I'm gonna turn it up. But if you're kind of a bit more laid back, then I'll be a bit more laid back and maybe help you out with stuff.
See, I'm the opposite. I like getting people frustrated, so they can have that that mentality, like, yo, stop worrying about like what I'm doing. Don't get frustrated. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on your technique. Focus on your skills. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Like in sparring, if like in Muay Thai, I'll walk with somebody, get right in their face, get all angry. My hands are down. They're like, what are you doing? What do you mean what I'm doing? I'm sparring. No, that's not right. So they're all uncomfortable, and they're like, like cringing and like, can you please stop? No, I'm not going to stop, because I'm going to put you in an uncomfortable situation so you can get comfortable. Just Thursday, I was trying to roll with somebody and he's trying to avoid me. I'm like, no, you're not avoiding me. I'm coming to you. You were going to do this. And sadly, Master Sugi called it before we actually got into like rolling, but I try to intimidate people so they can just say, hey, that doesn't matter anymore. And you can intimidate me all you want. It don't matter.
Yeah.
So I've been doing this thing recently where if I know somebody has like a confidence or decision-making issue, I will question everything that they do. It forces them to make a decision. Like if they go for a Kimura trap or something, like, are you sure you
really want to do?
You want to do that? They're like,
Y'all play too many mind games.
Well, I don't do it. Go ahead, Frankie.
Sorry, when Thomas does that, I'm like, yes, do it. Go ahead, do it, because I want to learn. It's so I'm like, is Thomas like, you sure you want to do it? Yeah, do it. Are you sure you want me to? Yeah, I'll do it so I can learn, so I won't make that mistake again. Yeah. So for me, it helps me out because I'm getting uncomfortable, but yet I need to learn. So my biggest thing is I can't be on the bottom. I hate being on the bottom. But now I'm starting to become like more comfortable. Okay, all right, big guys, get on top of me. I'm good, man. Like, I'm about to mess you up.
Yeah. I think for me, when I'm rolling with someone, I guess it's just everyone's personality is different. I kind of analyze everything, and at the end, I'm like, hey, you want some tips? Or, if they ask me, hey, how did I do with this? I'm like, okay, this is what I was doing. This is how you can escape it and all this other stuff. Yeah, I kind of like let them do their own thing and get into positions that they get compromised. And then I tell them like, hey, this is what you could have done.
Mm. I like that.
But it's interesting to hear everyone has kind of like a different way of approaching this.
Yeah.
What's your way, Gil? Can we talk about your way?
Yeah. So if you saw my recent competitions, my first one, second one, last one, I noticed changes in between those, because in my most recent competition this last weekend, I was thinking in my head the entire time, I gotta chill out, chill, just relax, chill, because like when you watch like other competitors, like people who have competed BJJ for a long time and many times, like the guys have won lots of medals and stuff. You watch how they compete; they're really relaxed. Like the guys with lots of experience. So recently, I've started even at class too, and rolling. Start to chill a little more. I'm just relaxed, slow down, old man, pretty much trying to slow down. Yeah. So when I get those people that are like really spazzy, I mean, like I don't really care now. Like I just whatever. I try to slow them down.
Yeah. Dude, play some music in your head. That's what I do.
Yeah, play some Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody.
To chill.
One thing I have
to relax a little bit.
One thing I happen. What's that?
No, never mind. Go ahead.
I was saying one thing I have been trying to do lately is kind of go back to basics and try to remember all the things that Master Sugi told me when I was a white belt. Like, don't do this, do that. And one thing I'm working on now is keeping my back off the mat. And that, I've got to say, that's definitely made an improvement in my game. Like, no matter what, even if it's like one shoulder off the mat, just make sure your back is not flat on the mat. And like, connecting, knee and elbow and being really small, especially because for me, a lot of times people pass my guard real quick and I have to, adjust for that. They'll pass my guard, get in side control. And then I hate side control. I'm screwed. So yeah, a lot of it's right now what I'm trying to do is kind of go back to like the basics and try to remember all the things Master Sugi was screaming at me in matches and, trying to work on that.
Yeah, it's always good to go back to, foundation. It's always really good to go back to foundation just to maybe you forgot something, the little tweaks, the little placement or footing or some of that. It's always good. It's always good to go back to those foundations. And
I do like a foundational class once a week, just because you can. And actually, I did one at Capitol, and there's a white belt there. This like really small woman, and we were doing what was it? We're doing flower sweep, and she had this thing where she was saying, she takes the person's arms and she punches it across. And then you punch it. I call it the punch and crunch now. So you punch it across, and then you do a side crunch to grab the pants leg. And I was like, oh my god, that makes it so much easier to do. And it's just like a white belt taught me that, and I wouldn't have learned that if I didn't go to foundation class.
Yeah, you learn every day something new, something just tiny. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So on that note, something that I like to do with my white belt friends, even my blue belt friends, is that I will teach them the stuff that I'm using against them that's effective so they can use it on me. And that way it forces me to figure out a solution and thus makes me get better. Because with my training partners, especially my regular ones, it doesn't do me any good just to gain the advantage on them all the time.
Yeah.
So like I've been playing with this arm trap via using a lapel, and then I just take people's backs that way. And everybody that I've tried it on doesn't know how to get out of it. So I was like, well, if it's that effective, here, let me figure out a solution by teaching them the technique. So, and I've just started doing that this week and last. So soon I will have a solution to how to get out of it. But
I learned that from you too.
I think I tried to show it to you.
Okay. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. But
wait, you got to do it on me though.
Yeah.
So here's a question.
Sure.
Going back to our topic, has anybody gotten in any situations that you guys probably needed to use a martial art? Because I know
I haven't. So
I'll go first.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yes. So as you guys know, I was a breakdancer for 10 years. And we would go to Southeast DC, shady places, deal with shady people. And I had done judo for 9 years and Isshin Ryu for about 9 years as well. So 20-year-old Thomas also did not have the amount of self-control that he has right now. There were instances where people would just put me in a situation where it was either stand there and wait to get something bad happen to me or just throw them on their head. The one thing that I will bring up and mention is, do you guys remember the Z Club? I don't know if it's still around. It was like Z Alley, something like that. It was a terrible place. But anyways,
okay.
We went there. We got hired to dance there on the, just get the party a little bit moving a little better. And some dude just walks up, punches me in the back of the head. I turn around. He's like 6 foot, kind of jacked, maybe 215, 220, about Wole size. So I'm like, nope, try to leave, grabs me by the collar. So I fireman carry him into the bar, and that was the end of it. It was very anticlimactic, but seeing a 5'8", 180-pound guy fireman carry a 6 foot, 220-ish pound guy into a bar is apparently impressive because everybody stopped and the security guards wouldn't come near me.
That's like judo, man. Once you grab that collar, it's over.
Yeah, I wasn't sticking around, but there were other instances. There were other instances where
I was watching this. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. There were other instances where fighting would have been a terrible choice, and I just negotiated my way out of it. And after a while, I realized I can't just fight everybody. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna go to jail. I'm gonna have a record. I was just no, I'm not doing this. So go ahead, Gil.
No, I was just gonna say, I remember watching this video on YouTube. It was by these high level judo / jiu-jitsu guys who's done both, and they were asking your opinion, which do you think is more scarier, judo or jiu-jitsu? And they all said judo on the streets because judo will do a lot more damage to people.
Yeah. So I haven't gone into fights, at least not in maybe one or two, but not in my adult years. So that's why I would say I don't know my confidence level, my jiu-jitsu, how well my jiu-jitsu will work, in the streets and without rules. I also am concerned because it's one of those things where you know enough to be dangerous. I'm concerned that if I do get into a fight and I use my jiu-jitsu, I could really hurt someone. And on top of that, being a man of color, there's a whole nother, thing that goes with that, and going back to, I will end up in prison and I will end up with a rap sheet, that kind of thing. Yeah. So it's interesting knowing that you can do something, but having those barriers in place where you probably shouldn't.
So the scary thing about fighting somebody who's unskilled is they don't know how hard they're actually hitting you. When you're skilled in striking, for example, if you don't want to hurt somebody, you just jab them, for example. If you really want to hurt somebody, you use a different style of punch. But a lot of the guys in DC, especially the guys from around Shaw, from where my family lived, you don't know how hard their punches, you don't know how much force they're using behind their punches when they're coming after you, because they don't know. They've never taken boxing or any kind of striking. And there's been multiple instances where somebody got knocked out, fell over, hit their head on a sidewalk or something.
Yeah.
And then either got seriously injured or died.
Yeah.
So that's
a concern I have too. Not necessarily me actually causing the damage, but my actions causing them to, fall on the concrete and stuff.
Yeah.
But again, I think it depends on intent. Like if it's somebody who's trying to kill you, yes, no holds barred. If it's somebody who's just trying to pick a fight with you, they're unskilled, you have the skill to sort of change your game plan, so they're less likely to get as injured. You disagree, Frankie?
No, I was just thinking about the situation that I was in, man. So I was.
What is yours?
So I was in DC, and I got invited into a club, and I'm this was like my early 30s, and I ended up going into this club, and I told this person, I was like, I don't do clubs, I don't like clubbing, I don't like bars, because my past history, I used to get in fights in clubs and whatnot. So I was like, listen, man, I'm not drinking. And she goes, no, it's fine. I was like, okay, fine. So we end up going to this club, and we have our little group, and me as very much the DD, I try to take care of my group. I try to take care of my friends and stuff like that. So, and at the time I liked this girl, and she's going off with this one guy, and me, I know the stuff that happens in clubs and stuff like that. I got worried. I was like, something in a drink or whatever, and she goes home, and then it's a whole big mess. So I end up go getting her. She's with the guy. She's dancing with the guy, and that's fine and whatnot. And then trying to take her away from like the group pretty far out. So I go get her, and I pretend like I'm dancing with her and whatnot. And then the guy turns me around. He's a big dude. He was like 6'2", maybe. I don't know. And he gets in my face, and I'm like, "What's up, man?" And I'm like, "Listen, we're just gonna go back." And he, out of nowhere, just throw like 4 elbows and hits me in the chest 4 times.
The hell?
And I just snapped, and I gave him a jab cross and a double hook, and all of a sudden you just see him go to the ground. And I was so mad at the situation that I told the person, I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm done. I end up, she sobered up quickly, and she was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I told you I don't want to be out here. I'm 30 years old. I shouldn't be out here fighting. So that was my situation. And I knew that guy was unskilled, and that's what kind of pissed me off a little bit too, that I'm like, I just hurt somebody trying to defend you, and you got me into the situation that I didn't want to be in. So it was pretty nasty. I didn't feel good about that the next couple of days.
4 elbows to the chest, definitely unskilled.
Yeah. Yes, Thomas. Am I about to get a red card?
That is a flag on the play, sir. Never, ever get into an altercation at a club over a female.
Well, the thing is, in his defense, in Frankie's defense, I would do the same thing for a female friend of mine, or because it's just like, you don't know what this dude is up to. Well, but the thing though is like the situation escalated. Frankie didn't escalate the situation. This dude did.
No, I'm not.
The debate now.
I am not saying what Frankie did was incorrect. I would have done the same damn thing. But I'm just saying, as a general rule, in the book of Brohood, chapter 3, page 4,
man law.
It specifically says, "Thou shalt not fight over the females."
This is true. Wars have been caused over female.
Hey,
that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, that's true.
But how would you feel if that dude took her home and something messed up happened?
Like I said, I'm not saying that I would have done anything differently. I'm just generally admonishing him for breaking man law, basically.
At the time,
I think there's an exception. I think there's an exception to that law.
No, there is. You just have, chapter 1, page 4. You have to rib your friends. It's in there. It's written.
I'm not touching that man law stuff.
It's written.
Yes, it's written and it's theirs. But I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't happy with the situation, man.
No, yeah.
Just at the end of the day, I came out losing because one, I hurt somebody. Two, I wasn't supposed to be in a situation like that at all. And and like Thomas said, don't fight over a girl, man, unless you're married to that. Unless you're married to that person.
I think that's another thing that people don't account for is how you feel after. It's just like, for example, people are like, oh yeah, if someone comes into my house and tries to rob me, I'm going to shoot them and I'm going to kill them or this and that, and that serves them right. But when it really comes down to it, if you shoot someone and you hurt or kill them, also you're some sort of psychopath, you're going to feel some kind of way about it. It's going to bother you
for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
On that, I think it depends on the person, because since most of
depends on the person you're shooting, or it depends on the person who is doing the shooting.
Depends on. Well, you have to factor in both. Like my family, most of my mom's family is from the country, right? So if somebody random enters your home uninvited, chances are they're there not for upstanding reasons. And there has been scenarios where, hey, who are you? Oh yeah, you gotta leave. They don't leave, and then the shotgun's racked. They still are in there, and it's like, well, I warned you. And then
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that like you should feel bad about having to defend yourself, but I think that just the human psychology of actually hurting or maiming somebody else, it's going to bother you to some degree.
Yeah. Oh, who's
here?
Yeah, it's nice. So I think
so we're talking about shooting people.
Yeah. So
really?
I think in the context of a lot of country folks, especially those who hunt, like, when I go hunting season and I get a deer, a rabbit or whatever, I process that thing myself. So it just based on like the incidences that my family's been involved in, most of those guys who that I've been related to who have been involved in those self-defense scenarios are also hunters. So we're kind of acclimated, desensitized or something from harming live beings.
Yeah.
So
but there's a difference between like killing and processing a rabbit and shooting and killing someone, right?
True, but if you do it enough, like you're desensitized from the gore of it, like the violence of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because
I understand,
because
I can see that. I would say, if that's your job, you eventually get desensitized to it. But that first, second, third time you do it, it's gonna mess with you.
Are you sure?
They
kill chickens like in the old times, or if you go to a rural area, they have like a ton of chickens. They kill them, they eat them, old ladies, they pluck them.
I don't know. Maybe I had some mental preparation or something, because the first time I killed a deer, it was nothing. The only thing that bothered me was when I fully processed it and looked at, the skin of it is over there. its legs are over here on that table, its innards are out in the woods somewhere. Like that kind of got to me. But after the second time, I was just kind of like, well, that's just the way it is. You know, it was,
Yeah.
So we have this holiday. It's you sacrifice an animal and then you give it to poor people. Okay.
Whoa, when the mid, whoa, hey, where'd you come in, bro? Jesus. How you gonna come up here unannounced?
Wait a minute. Mitt, are you wearing a pinkish shirt, sir?
Yes.
That's salmon, sir. That's salmon. Oh, yeah. Don't know. Man law. Thou shalt not wear pink, only salmon.
I said pink-ish? No.
It's salmon.
So what are you talking about? What are we talking about? Killing deers and stuff like that? I'm sorry, I had to go get a charger, y'all. Sorry.
Killing people.
Oh yeah, like if you had to.
I thought we were talking about killing animals, man.
Oh no, so I what my argument is that I think that no matter, even if killing is your job, killing people is your job, if also you're some sort of kind of like absolute psychopath, I think it's going to affect you to some degree. You know, everybody, you know, some people it's a lesser degree, other people it's more, you know.
But wait, what is the question? Would I be okay with it?
Well, Wole is saying that in general, people would have some sort of
sort of psychological response,
right?
Yeah,
if you even look at these old documentaries, these guys sometimes you could see it within them, man, that it does affect them.
Yeah,
I mean, emotionally. I mean, they like it. They like doing that, but then for a split moment, if you really look at them, or they'll still say, "Oh yeah, I did feel like shit," or "I did feel like," but then they'll be like, "But I did enjoy it." You know, it's man, that's a tough topic right there.
Yeah, it is.
I think in the moment, you may not think about it, but afterwards, I think it's going to affect you to some degree. You know, some people to a larger degree, other people to a lesser degree.
But
so
there's
a spectrum.
That's the thing with everything, though. You know, some people some people can't take criticism, or you know, they have anxiety, or you know, people are different. Some people, I'm sure, when they kill someone, they're just okay with it. They can sleep.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, that's what it's like. You know, sorry, go ahead, Thomas.
I'm not gonna out them, but somebody we know has actually ended someone's life in a self-defense scenario.
Oh wow.
I know that person.
Yes.
Yeah,
but nobody knows. Nobody can tell, like, from just interacting with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough subject, man. That's a tough one, man. Because
how did you guys
don't get me wrong, man. If I have to do it for someone that I love, like my kids and whatnot, there ain't no second thought, you know.
But
I'll do it.
I think that's like I understand that's like it's the same thing with me. You know, you just have to do what you have to do if it's someone who's trying to harm you or someone you love. Yeah. But I feel, for me personally, I feel even if it was in self-defense, it would affect me afterwards.
Yeah,
you know,
people say, "Yo, yeah, it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me. Yeah, I'll do it." No, man, it you know when it affects you is when you're by yourself and you're within your own mind, and this is where, like, you know, mental problem happens, like depression and PTSD and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, these you know, speaking of the guys that been in the military, I'm pretty sure, you know.
So the scary thing is living in Shaw in the early 90s in DC. We lived right around the corner from a low income housing unit.
Yeah.
Almost all of those guys, my grandparents helped raise. Like almost all the guys that lived there from the time they were little to, you know, even adulthood. most of those dudes used to come over to my grandparents' house for like lunch, dinner. Like if they didn't have any money, didn't have anything to eat, my grandmother would feed them. The scary thing is when me and my family moved back from Germany, and I was probably like 10, 11 years old, I would just be sitting there minding my own business. And these guys would tell me all sorts of like awful stuff that they had done. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why would you tell me this? Like I've just met you. And it was like nothing to them. Yeah. And I'm sitting here like weirded out. I wouldn't go talk to my granddad about it. And he's like, hey, you know what? This is the hood. This is what happens. Just don't say anything and you're fine. I'm sitting here like, I'm like, okay, this guy just told me he murdered somebody because he wanted his shoes. Like,
so yeah.
Can I be scared of this guy?
When I was growing up,
I want to say that Shaw and Southeast is super gentrified now. So
it is, yeah.
It's a nice area now.
Yeah, I live. I can walk down to Shaw from where I live. And,
wow.
Yeah.
So to give you guys, sorry, Frankie, just let me say this and you can go. To give you guys
go ahead.
To give you guys a measure of how different that neighborhood was. When we moved back from Germany, the first two things my granddad told me was don't go outside and don't go outside without telling everybody that you encounter that I'm your grandfather. And I was like, why? What? Why? Oh, three things. Don't leave your bike out front. So I'm like, okay, and didn't understand it. We kept having neighbors move in and their bikes kept disappearing. I was like, well, I asked my granddad, I was like, why are their bikes disappearing? He's like, because people just take them. And I, like maybe last year I went to U Street, walked by my old neighborhood, and there's bikes out everywhere. And I'm like, aren't people afraid these are going to get stolen? And I ran into some guys when it came out of his house. I was like, aren't you afraid your bike is going to get stolen? He goes, oh no, I've lived here for 8 years now. Nobody's ever stolen my bike or anybody else's in the neighborhood.
Like, it's changed now. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Frankie, go ahead.
Yeah. So, growing up, I used to visit a person down in prison a lot. And within prison, when you're visiting these people, there's other inmates within the same room. Mm-hmm. So when this person wanted some privacy with the person I went with, he'd be like, hey, yo, go introduce yourself, whatnot. Yo, I should talk to these people and then like shake hands and all this shit and whatnot. But when you fucking realize what kind of people these people are, you're like, holy crap, I just shook a hand to a guy that killed 10 people. He's there for life, and he's the nicest guy you probably ever meet. But I'm like, yo, that right there messed me up a little bit, because I was like, man, that's some crazy shit, man. Yeah. I'm over here, I'm like 12, 13 years old. Well, no, younger than that, probably like 12 to 13. And I'm shaking hands with fucking guy's murderer. This guy I was talking to, he was like, yeah, man, I was at a red light and the guy behind me was honking the horn, and he was being a little bit aggressive, so I got out and I shot him. I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, on that note, I never honk at any. If you notice that now, I'll never honk at people. I'll probably do like the nice polite honk, like beep, or like flash the lights, but never lay on it. Never lay on it, because you never know.
Yeah, man.
You never know.
What do you guys think about the prison system? I'm curious. Here, like, prison is not like for treating people.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
in Nordic countries. I recently seen a video. Like these Nordic countries, their prisons are like a hotel. They have their own TV.
Hotels.
This guy murdered like 30 people, and he's living the life, high-speed internet.
Well,
listen, I've been to jail already. Okay, that's a whole different topic. But while I was in there, I promised myself I'll never go back.
Yeah.
I've never been back. I never.
I don't think that's the case with
man,
most, though. I don't think that's the case with most. Like, if you go to prison for like 10 years, you're fucked. You're never gonna get out, like, because you have to do things to survive.
This is gonna be a long night, but okay.
Guys, hold on, gentlemen, time out. One at a time on the mic, because
sorry.
Talking.
Sorry, I'm getting excited because this is a topic that I can relate to.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
So it was just about to start.
I think the American prison system is fucked up, and I think that it is not about rehabilitation. It's all about profit. It's all about how many people can we pack in prison, and like how much money can we make off of them? Because it's like, if you go into prison and you're not given any tools to help you when you come out, of course you're going back. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You're going back.
Yeah.
So it's just I think there's this idea in America where people who have committed a crime need to pay and they need to suffer. But you have people who commit crimes because they crimes of opportunity, because they don't have any other means. They need to feed their family. But then you also have people who are on the other spectrum who they enjoy crime. But I think on either side, whether it's someone who enjoys committing crimes or if it's someone just crime of opportunity, they both need to be looked at, and there needs to be a way to figure out, like, okay, how can we rehabilitate this person so they don't come back, or so they don't want to come back? So, I'm on a soapbox.
Yeah. And don't you commit more crime when you're in prison, right? To survive, you're gonna commit more crime. It's just a vicious cycle. Like Frankie is having a hard time.
I'm cringing right now. I'm so cringing right now.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So check this out.
Thomas.
I was probably like 10 or 11, right? And I would sit out on the front porch with my granddad, and he would go back inside. He's like, as long as you stay on the porch, you're fine. And this older guy, I don't know how old he was. I guess he was probably 50. Skinny dude, didn't look like he was dangerous at all. He comes by and he tells me, "Hey, who are you?" I say, "I'm Big Tommy's grandson." He goes, "I'm your uncle Leroy, not Elroy." I go, "Really? We're related?" He goes, "Not really, but I'm your uncle Leroy." And he just walks off. So every time I'd sit on the porch, I would see him 2-3 times a week, come by, say hi, ask me how my day is going, how my family's doing. That's it. My granddad would come. If my granddad was there, granddad would talk to him about how he was in high school, and they exchanged stories and whatever. They had known each other for a long time. Anyways, one day, a pair of police officers walk up and they ask us about Leroy. Anyways, long story short, come to find out, they were looking for information because he got arrested and charged with murdering 14 people.
Damn, sure.
No clue. And some of the other guys come around after the cops had left, and they're like, "Man, we're so glad he got caught." And me and my granddad are confused. We're like, "Why?" He's like, "That dude was a psychopath. Like, he was nuts." And we're like, "He seemed like a really nice guy." And my granddad's like, "Yeah, I've known him since he was like 13. He's had no sense that he was like, a killer." But it was just crazy.
Drug related, or just did it for fun?
Who knows? At that point, drugs were all over the place. It could have been the case. It could have just been the case that he just maybe he was a hitman. Who knows?
Yeah.
That's the last I ever saw of him.
14 sounds like he enjoys it, or he does it for work or something.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Either one.
This dude was 40s or 50s at this point.
He might have been a hitman or something.
Yeah, but
Speaking about prisons, you guys need to watch the Inside the World's Toughest Prisons on Netflix. That really shows you how those European prisons are like hotels. They're like luxury prisons over there.
The ones some of them are like nicer than my place,
Oh yeah, they're like college dorms. Yeah.
I find it funny when big time drug dealers like El Chapo's like, "No, I don't want to go to prison in the U.S. I want to go somewhere like Mexico or somewhere else I can bribe people."
Yeah, because they They could go to Mexico, go to prison, have like a whole like suite for themselves, and they're barbecuing and got visitors and whatnot. You know,
I heard that each inmate costs $70,000 per year, taxpayers, man.
It's a ridiculous.
6 or 7. This was like a long time ago too, so probably maybe 100K a year.
It's a ridiculous amount of money, and you have to think about people who are, you have to think about people who are in there for many years. I was actually just listening to this case where this dude was accused of raping these 2 women, and he's actually possibly getting a chance to get another trial because back then the girls they pointed him out, but the cops did some shady stuff, like they lined him up and they had him in handcuffs, so obviously it's like, oh, this is the dude and all of that. Anyway, there's a lot of shady stuff, and this dude has spent over 40 years in prison for something that he possibly did not do. So it's just, you think about that and you think about how much money is being spent or how much money is being given to the prison system to keep him in there.
So
it cost me $1.75 a day to be in prison, by the way.
Oh damn.
That's cheap.
I'm sorry, in jail.
So that's cheap, Frankie.
Yeah, it was.
The one thing that I will say that I've had experience with the legal system in the US.
Hold on.
Oh,
my daughter just heard me say that. She just gave me a look like, you've been in jail.
But
she just found out.
she just found out.
That's gonna be a conversation later.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna say one more thing, and then we're gonna move on to some videos that Frankie wanted to look at. And Frankie, I think you're.
I want to say something about the. Yeah, I just want to say something about the whole prison system. That Wole's right, and it is a business. But the reason why people keep doing these crimes and keep committing, they go back into jail is because times are moving so fast. Technology is moving so fast. Society leaves these people out to nothing, pretty much, man. I've seen people get out of jail and go right back in, and we're like, yo, what happened? He goes, I got nothing out there.
Yeah, they do it on purpose. Yeah.
This is my home. This is me now. Like I can't function in that world anymore. So the people that done 10, even 5 years, for us 5 years was like nothing. For them, 5 years is like
different world,
equivalent to like 40 years.
Like a different world.
Different world. Because it's moving so fast. It's moving so quickly, And now they're starting to figure out how to bring these smartphones in. But even that, this is still old technology. This is brand new technology in here. This is old technology for us.
Yeah, right.
So it's crazy, man. It's just the stuff they do and the stuff they say in there, man. You have to be there to actually, to actually see it, man. And I just feel bad for those people that sometimes, man, like they've been there for a long time and society has left them behind. Man. So when you see those people, and you will notice those people that they're like, they might be the toughest people in the world, but man, when they come out to the real world, they're like, nope, put me back in. So they'll cause a real quick murder or whatever just to go back in.
Yeah, I don't think it's rehabilitation, like Ola says. It's just so scary that when you're a free man, you've been to prison, you just stay in line. I think it's just to scare people off. And when you go in there, it's done. That's it. I think. The goal is, not to make you better and make you part of society.
So real quick,
those people.
Sorry, Gil. The one thing I will say about the legal system in the U.S. is that prosecutors are really messed up individuals, and I'll explain why. The one self-defense case that I've had watched from the outside in, the prosecutor was literally able to not just blatantly lie about the guy that he was trying to prosecute. He was also caught withholding major evidence, and he got no consequences from it. None. They were trying to say that this guy was a Trump following racist, and come to find out the dude was dude had a black dad and a white mom, and just happened to look more on the white side of his family.
He could still follow Trump.
Huh?
He could still be a Trump follower racist, even if he's black.
Well,
Yeah.
true. However, that was not the case
Less
here.
likely.
It was a blatant lie. And on top of that, he introduced evidence that had nothing to do with the case to try to push that narrative. Like somebody found a car that had Trump stickers all over it, and they tried to say it was his car. Well, come to find out, dude doesn't own a car. He Ubers everywhere that he goes. And but the dangerous thing is if you were to see this on TV, the way it would be presented is, oh, this guy's a racist, here's the proof. And then cut it there. But then they wouldn't find out later on that, oh, this isn't true. The prosecutor lied about it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's no consequences for the prosecutors lying about stuff.
Isn't it the same for detectives too? They just wanna, for them, it's just hitting targets, like metrics.
That's another thing.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't.
That's another thing.
And they deal with this like every day. So for them, your special case doesn't matter. I mean, it's a special thing for you, but for them, they see this every day. Like they're numb. They don't care. They're just hitting those metrics, and that's it. So
that's another thing. Cops are allowed to lie, and that's like why I tell all my friends, everyone, that don't talk to cops. Just don't do it, because they're allowed to lie, and they're allowed to make up a narrative in order to get a confession out of you. Yeah. Frankie disagrees.
No, because my one of my brother-in-law is he's a cop.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Hey, there's good cops and there's bad cops. But not all cops are bad.
No, yeah.
But
no.
And I get that mentality. And I get the mentality that where you're coming from because of the era that we're in and what we've seen on TV and stuff like that. But not all cops are bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like people. Not everyone is bad.
Yeah. Let me clarify. Cops are allowed to lie in order to get a confession, but I'm not saying all cops do that. But I'm just saying, but it's better to err on the side of caution. That's why I say don't talk to cops. But again, I'm not saying all cops are bad or whatever, and I'm also not saying all cops are good. But they are allowed to lie, and with that in mind, you should probably err on the side of caution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are like YouTube channels, they do confession videos and stuff.
Thomas over here reffing hard tonight, boy. Thomas is reffing hard.
Dude, we have gone completely off topic. We've gone on so many tangents.
What is the topic?
Going off topic is fine. I just want to move the conversation along.
Let's watch the videos.
The videos. Yes.
Yeah, let's watch the videos. Which videos are you watching today?
Thomas, you need to have like
I need a mute all button.
You need to a mute all or red flag or yellow flag,
raise hand to talk.
So here's the thing. This is all very
Are you
good.
watching an episode of Cops?
No, but here's the thing. This is all very good conversation, right? And the topic of the point of this podcast is just to have conversations. Really, it's centered around combat sports, BJJ, whatever, and our training and our friendships together. But if we go off on a damn tangent, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
That I'm not going to sit here and be like a topic Nazi and be like, Achtung, this is not about the Juden. No, I'm not going to do that. Anyways, sorry.
But this is what we do as friends and as a group. Like, hey, we could talk about, whatever, and then it'll spin off to something else.
Yeah. And that's the nature of the beast, and that's what makes things fun.
Talking about Trump, I got Hershey's Kisses signed by Trump here.
Oh, Lord.
Like chocolate.
I'm not trying to get political.
I have a neighbor. He works in the White House. They give him these like during holidays or something. He gave me some. Not that I support Trump or anything, but it's just a nice souvenir, the most ridiculous president of all time, and I have his signature. This is my opinion. You might have different opinions, you know. We're not the same.
FYI, I don't watch news.
Yeah.
I the news in my life is not real anymore to me.
It's
I
called
have political opinions, but to myself, that's
political entertainment.
Yeah.
It's political entertainment.
All right, video
All
one.
right, here we go.
You guys see this? See my screen?
Yes.
I can.
Okay.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah, let's watch it.
He's gonna slam him. Oh my god.
Oh no.
DQ.
Okay, so
Is it in the rules?
I have thoughts.
That's the DQ, right?
I have thoughts. Yes, that should be a DQ.
Frankie, you can go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So
I
this
turned.
goes back.
I got my hand up. I got my hand up. All
right, go ahead.
I have
Go
my
ahead.
hand up.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I sent this video to Thomas. Okay, and the guy picks up the other guy. Right? He looks at the ref. Ref does this number. So then, slightly, if you notice when he's coming around, he'll give him a thumbs up, like, "Okay, I'm doing this." Right there. He gave him a thumbs up, and then he body slams him. So then the ref goes like, "Oh shoot, is it really the guy's fault though?"
No, look, he's
Hold on.
asking.
So I think at this point, I don't know if the ref knows what the dude's gonna do. You can be in this position in jiu-jitsu and not get slammed. Okay, like if you have a good opponent, they're not gonna slam you. But I think it goes back to attitude, like I was talking before. You see the dude's attitude after he slams him, he's like, "Oh, I just won WWE." Like that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And also
I
on
think
top of that, like I feel like maybe schools don't teach this, but number one rule, you do not slam people. Like you just don't do it. You know.
Yeah.
But maybe he doesn't know the rules. Okay, like maybe he's a beginner.
Well,
and he's
then he
asking
went
to the ref.
He's a white belt. So.
Yeah, ref is doing this, right? He's like, "Don't talk to me. Just do your thing."
Well,
that's what I'm thinking.
He went to a shitty school. I'm sorry. He went to a
What,
shitty school.
The ref?
No,
that's the street fighting. That's the street fighting. It's okay slamming.
Yeah, the dude who slammed him.
He went okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't know that you shouldn't slam people, he went to a shitty school.
Yo, what do you think?
Watch the video game.
Yeah, this is a competition, right?
Yes.
Competition, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, I don't think the ref knows rules.
No.
Hey, he shouldn't have done that.
Sorry. Also,
because he doesn't DQ.
Yeah, what happens? Let's watch the whole video.
Also, why take that shit?
Yeah.
I think ref DQs him.
You know
the music that people play. That's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, actually, Frankie, the ref. I don't think this is a crappy ref. Like he didn't DQ the guy. Like he
So, if you look at the ref, the two coaches are arguing. Like, come on, man. Like the guy in the green is like, come on, man. Why did you let your guy do that? And the ref is like, what did I just do? Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's the ref's responsibility to be taking care of these people. Yep. Now, if the guy, if you look closely at the video, he'll give the guy is giving the ref a thumbs up, like, yo, I might slam this guy.
But the thing is, why he's getting up right after he slams him? Like, it's not. Did he submit him? Nothing. No. Well, why don't you just continue?
Oh,
yeah.
Like, well, he thinks he won.
Why'd he get up? Yeah.
It's not WWE.
Because he thought he won, and I think another thing. The dude, you don't know what this dude is going to do. So don't
look at his belt. His belt is not even tied properly. Like he doesn't have a matching gear. I don't think he ever competed. He did jiu-jitsu before.
You know what?
A wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this guy is just somebody who walked in and entered willy-nilly. Because
it looks like a beginner Frankie right there, bud.
Yeah.
Looks like a beginner wrestler.
That's
And that's probably why he got up like that. He thought, "Oh, I won the match."
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah,
point.
he's probably a wrestler. Yeah, you're right.
Oh yeah, he
you're
put him on
right,
his
but-
back, so he just got up, right?
Yeah.
But once again, is at this point
It's
in
the
time,
ref's
it's the
fault.
ref.
Yeah.
It's the ref's
I
responsibility
think so.
to take care of these people,
Because
man.
right there, I've seen good refs who, as soon as someone starts carrying someone up like that, the ref like pauses them and says like, "Hey, you bring them back down." As soon as this guy slammed him, the ref should have immediately DQ'd him.
Oh, this is
Just hit in the face.
So are we
I
good?
saw this one.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This
Ready?
This
All
one's
right.
a famous
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Are we gonna talk about it?
Seen it. Yeah,
Do we
I
have
haven't
to?
seen it.
Don't you just want to like slap that woman? Like, why would you
So,
do that?
wait,
to a
hold
kid?
on. Why is she going up against a kid though? Is
That's
it
what
really
I-
like a
that's what
woman?
I-
weight. It's probably a
versus
weight
kid?
class. It was probably a weight class.
But woman versus kid?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I.
Yeah, but she's probably not a kid.
Right.
She's probably she looks like a kid, but she's probably not a kid.
probably
Yeah,
like
she looks
18
like
or
13,
something,
14.
Yeah, some 18-year-olds look like that.
Yeah, she's probably like 18 or 19.
I'm 30,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
So she gets tapped, and she's complaining to the girl, "When I tap, you need to let go."
No. No.
No.
Nope. F that.
Okay. Yes.
I don't think she
looks-
I agree too.
No. F that.
I agree too.
Yeah.
I agree too, Wole, because it's when the ref says, "Okay, stop."
But you don't
But
have to
also,
yank it.
yeah. Well, but also, like, if you start off by pushing me in the face, you've just changed the whole game. Like, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this. Like that's. I mean, it's not like ADCC, or it's just a local PG tournament.
And these videos getting me heated, man.
Yeah, right?
they got me going, man.
What was my butt? Yeah.
All right, ready for the second part?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
So
this the same
I-
match, or is this a?
I wonder
is
if
this?
the kid's
So it's-
dad is
so I-
recording or something. Imagine if that was your kid. Like, what would you do?
Oh. Mm.
So
I'll
at this,
meet you outside.
so I think that they had a matchup again. You know how in tournaments they match
Yeah.
up again. Yeah.
All right, so this is the same quote unquote Karen.
BJJ Karen. She gonna do the headbutt thing? Oh, head slam.
Oh man,
Oh, nice.
that's an arm bar.
wait, hold
Yeah, that's
on.
an arm bar there.
And that was
Nice.
she tapped and she let it go. That's it.
Wow.
Uh,
Yeah,
No,
no,
like,
but the thing
it's-
was that she like hammer fisted her. Like, come on now.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like the tap was. I mean, the submission. She wasn't like
Mhm.
holding the submission. As soon as she tapped,
Mhm.
like the Karen tap, she let it go. Like the girl is
Karen.
just innocent.
Yeah.
Look, as soon as there's tap,
she,
like she lets go.
no, she did.
And
She
then
let go. She let go as soon as she tapped. The problem is the Karen just like tried to hold it. So that's your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the bottom
Yeah.
line here, this whole conversation, some people are shitty, some are good.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
see that everywhere.
I
Yeah.
wonder. I wonder if somebody could tell like, "Yo, lady, you can't compete no more. You're too dramatic.
Who's gonna say that?
You basically want an easy win." I don't know. Can like organizations or
Yeah.
like, yo, you can't compete
I
in
mean,
IBJ.
they can do whatever they want. Like they could ban you or whatever. But like, yeah, that's
That's
just not the
kinda
right.
funny.
That's
So-
not the right attitude.
I've experienced people being told that they have been banned from grappling industries just from proximity. So it does happen.
Doing
Well,
doing what?
it-
I'm just curious.
Say what?
Doing what? I'm just curious.
This one particular guy intentionally threw his opponent into the judges table and broke their equipment.
Oh wow.
Like he was about to throw him. I think it was a shoulder throw. He was facing away from the table and he looked and then he turned his opponent fit towards the table. So if he threw him, he would land directly in the middle of the judge's table. It was blatant, and everybody saw it coming, and people were yelling at him, "No, don't do it!" And he did it anyways.
And he got DQ'd.
It looks cool.
He got DQ'd and kicked out.
But
Yeah.
I sent you a video, Thomas. Can you put that on?
Say what?
I sent you a video.
Oh, you did? Oh, hold on.
If you're out of videos, that's a very entertaining one. It's like
review it.
Hold on a second.
It doesn't require review, but it's just like you see the crazy shit
sure?
in competition.
You
Everything is
sure?
up for
Oh
review.
no, Mitt, we're not looking at that one. Me and Frankie and Wole tried to watch that thinking it was funny, and it just pissed us off.
Oh
Oh yeah.
Why would it be funny?
I mean, some of them were funny, but it was, it just made us angry. There's not enough alcohol in the world to watch that again.
Okay, how about this? I'll find a funny video. For now, there is none.
So while he's looking, I have a question. So going back to our original conversation, if you could add a martial art or any kind of combat sport to your skill set to complement your BJJ, what would it be and why? And we'll start with Gil.
Yeah. Judo.
Okay.
Good one.
I mean, we have that now.
Yeah. I think that's for all
With
of us, right? So I should think of something else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me think of something else.
We'll come back to you. Wole, what do you
I have
think?
an answer.
Yeah, well, I got it. I'm ready. So I
What?
briefly did. I remember in my 20s. I did Taekwondo when I was a kid. So I did some. I have some striking, but I was a kid back then, so I don't really know anything. But I did learn Muay Thai in my late 20s. I remember I took some classes, and I thought that was fun back then. So yeah, I want to go back into Muay Thai.
Okay.
I would say I forget the style. The Filipino martial art with the knives.
Oh, ballet song? Eskrima?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, Eskrima with the batons.
So either that or maybe like some Wing Chun.
Okay. Mitt, what about you?
Combat Sambo. That's the purest fighting ever.
You got some guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next year you're going to see Met in the traditional Mongolian wrestling outfit.
Oh yeah, I saw
Jordan
that Facebook.
Jordan has one of those outfits.
Yeah,
I want to
they
see him
gifted
dressed up
him.
in one of those things, dude.
Yeah.
They gifted that to him, right?
Yeah. When he had his gig.
He's got to come in one day wearing that.
Yes. So Jordan, if you're watching this, you know what to do, bud.
Hey Frankie, they're going to gift you that too one day.
I don't think they got my size, but
I'm sure they have your size.
no, not to fit this dump truck.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No. Like,
For you,
I
it'll be
wore this
extra
when I was
small.
16. I wore this when I was 16.
Exactly.
It will fit you, Frankie.
For you, it'll be like extra small. Like little brother.
My butt cheeks absorb that thing and just look like a thong.
Hey, if they fit them, it's gonna fit you.
Thomas, what about you? What do you add?
Boxing.
Boxing, yeah.
Boxing is fun.
My thing is, I don't want to kick a lot because I don't want to injure my knees in case I do have to defend myself. So, boxing. If somebody takes me to the ground, I'm just going to start breaking their limbs and choking them out. But I think boxing would be a good compliment. I already know judo, enough judo. Striking wise, I know Ishin Ryu, and can't kick, of course, but the hand techniques are decent. But I think to elevate that to be more efficient, boxing would be a good compliment.
Yeah, running would be a good compliment. You're good on the ground, but if this comes to striking, just run away.
What are you trying to say, mate? He's fat?
No.
but then again,
not for specifically for Thomas, but in general,
Mit's about to I get it on Tuesday, boy.
It's like somebody call me fat. People call me fat all the time. My kids call me fat. I don't care. But yeah, what else is there?
Frankie, what about Frankie's answer?
Oh, yeah, Frankie.
All right, so
Frankie knows a lot already.
So my first martial arts was Taekwondo, so I know a lot of Taekwondo. I know a lot of Muay Thai, learning Jiu-Jitsu and Judo. I think I would like to do Wing Chun. No, sorry, Jeet Kune Do. So that's Bruce Lee's form of martial arts, or capoeira.
Oh my God, capoeira. Yeah.
So
that's sick.
Interestingly enough, me and my old dance crew tried to learn capoeira, and there's movement overlap between capoeira and breaking. Yeah. Like bottom rock is basically just capoeira, but we failed at it hard. We couldn't get it. It just it was different enough that it just nothing clicked. It was hilarious.
Aikido?
Say again?
Aikido? Yes, no?
No. So
oil wrestling would be fun.
So Aikido, what used to be taught at the school I did judo at, but they removed it from the curriculum because everything that we were, all the martial arts they were teaching, they wanted it to be, they wanted a pressure test. Like everything had to be done live. But it got to the point where nobody was doing any Aikido because they would just use judo because it was much more effective. And every time somebody, proclaimed or declared, hey, I'm just going to stick to Aikido techniques right now, they got mollywopped. Like it wasn't even close. So it just wasn't I don't think it's effective enough to be considered. You know what I mean?
It's very artsy.
Looks cool.
Yeah. I have a very controversial question about martial arts in general, but maybe
dude, you're just coming in here dropping controversial bombs.
Joe,
this man is
trying to get hurt tonight.
Go ahead.
I'm recording, just have leverage on you guys. Anyway, but I talked to Jordan about this like a couple of weeks ago. The ceremonial stuff in martial arts, especially in judo, it's very important. Like you take tests, and there's like written tests, I guess, verbal tests. But the way you walk, like the way you bow, way you get on the mat, like it's all these like ceremonial things. Do you think, like in jiu-jitsu, they bow at hands, like Gracie's picture and stuff like that? What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think this is necessary? Like everybody should do it, or
let's go with Gil first. Gil, do you have an answer?
I'm thinking, why would we have to do that? Like, I reflect back at the Gracie picture and stuff like that. I do understand, like bowing to your teammates, bowing to your instructor, bowing to the mats. That part I'm okay with, but like I don't know about bowing to a picture.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like a cult.
Yeah.
What do you think, Wole?
I think that it's important to keep certain aspects of the tradition, because it does teach you respect and things like that. Like the bowing to because the mat is where you practice. So like bowing, getting on and off the mat, bowing to the instructor, that kind of thing. Like Gil was saying, I don't know about bowing to a picture of a Gracie picture. I won't go that far, but I think that the tradition kind of makes it special.
Well, but I mean,
sorry, there are some places that are like super traditional with the whole tradition, but I don't think you have to go that far. I think things have modernized enough where you don't have to be like super traditional, but keep part of that tradition.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, like bound to the picture and stuff. I mean, I do have a lot of respect for those guys as well too. But like, I think that's like that kind of reminds me of like North Korea or something.
Supreme leader.
Yeah.
Frankie,
Yeah,
Frankie, what do
Brian
you?
told me before you go on, Frankie. Brian told me that in one of the gyms he was going before Chantilly and Pentagon, you couldn't be late to a class.
Yeah.
He says like I work, like I have responsibilities, I have a kid. Sometimes there's traffic, I can arrange. And even if you're like 5 minutes late, 2 minutes late, you can't go on the mat. Like you have to go apologize and you have to like ask for permission. Not like sorry, I'm late. Like can I come in? Like very ceremoniously. Like oh you're late. And he was saying like I pay my taxes, man. I'm a grown-up man. I have a family. Why do I have to go through this? And I think I agree with him, kind of. But what do you think, Frankie?
Okay, so you guys might think I'm crazy, but if one day, and hopefully it's never soon or whatever, but if I'm still doing this and Sugi passes away and we put up a picture in his gym, I will pay respects to Sugi's because he showed me what I need to learn and stuff like that. And when I am late, I do show respect to Sugi because one, it's his dojo, and two, I do show respect to my higher rankings, and I do want to pay respects. Like, hey, Matsugi, I'm sorry that I'm late, and can I kind of come and join the class? And to me, that's building a respect for my elders and my people who are around me. And every time I leave the gym, I always say bye to Sugi, and then I say bye to everybody else. So I like the old traditional way. And
but that's different. That's still,
and when it comes to
that's still like
Sugi,
it's not like it's just a picture.
Right. I mean, I'm not gonna go bow to a Gracie. No, I'll bow to Sugi's picture or to the people that have trained me because I love these guys and I show respect to them and I look up to them and they mean so much to me in my life because without them, I don't know where I'll probably be in jail somewhere.
$1.75
$1.75 a day. But I do show respect and I do show and I try to keep that old school mentality because all these young kids are looking at us. Yeah. So why they need to be they're looking at us, so we need to show the same respect like how they should show the same respect because when we're gone, those guys are the next ones to be. So I do bow, I do show respect, I do ask permission when I'm late, and
but I don't think all that stuff. Those are traditional. Those are just respect, right? When I say traditional and like ceremonial things, like bowing to a picture of a guy that you don't even know, right? And in judo, this is more prominent. They have like very strict rules, like the way, like how many steps you can take before you do your presentation or something, like demonstration.
And
stuff
and
like
every gym is different. Yeah. Every gym is different, and if you want to follow that gym and you want to do then go for it. Like Matsugi, he said it loud and clear. Look, bow before you come in, ask before you come, because he likes that. So I'm going to follow his rules, and I'm going to learn that, so I can teach the younger guys, hey, this is how we do things.
I think that there has to be a reason behind, those traditions. There has to be there has to be a logical or sensible reason behind those traditions before I follow them. Like bowing, asking permission before you get in. Like if I'm late to class, I would usually, sit on the side until I kind of like catch the instructor's eye and they nod and then I come on, that sort of thing. And bound to the mat, you got to respect the mat. But if it makes absolutely no sense, and like why do you need to do it?
So we still question, right? Like certain things.
Yeah.
So
not just like accept.
So real quick,
it's discipline. It's discipline.
Those traditions
showing up on time.
Right. Those traditions in judo are leftovers or remnants from the original Japanese culture. Like their culture, everything is like very specific. You bow a specific way when you're asking for forgiveness, for example. The way that you address somebody has a suffix that can be informal and formal, et cetera, et cetera. Like everything is very like laid out. socially. And with what you see in judo is the remnants of that. So, 3 steps here, and then you present something, that may not make sense to us, but if you were to go to Japan, it would make perfect sense because it's part of their etiquette. It's a leftover.
It's a culture. Yeah,
it's a culture difference.
Yeah.
But
the stuff that we wear, that was a daily wear, back like 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Yeah. Those guys were wearing kimonos during the day. Like we're still doing that because that's
yeah.
So Frankie, do you think that you follow kind of that whole respect and tradition thing? Because also, there's a lot of that in Muay Thai.
Yes, in Muay Thai you have to bow. You bow to your instructor. You bow to, and there's like the white crew, like where you dance in the ring, showing respect to your trainer, or to
like the Mongolian wrestling.
And
they walk like you see the videos, right? They go like this, like an eagle.
And and it makes you feel good. To me, like some people, you look dumb, or it's degrading. But no, I like showing respect. I like showing respect to Matsugi. I like showing respect to, Kruchan and all the people that have shown me my martial arts. I always show respect to them, no matter what.
There's a fine line. There's a fine line.
I like the old school way, man. Old school way was the best way.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So Frankie, you did hit on a topic that I have thought about. Sadly, that some point Master Sugi's gonna pass, and it's just that's gonna be a rough day.
Man,
it's like,
dude, he's young. He's 40. What the guy? What the guys told him?
What are we talking about in passing?
No, hey, man, but still, man, when the time comes, man, and our trainers do pass away, man, it's gonna be a tough day for us.
We got another 40 years, man. I don't have to worry about that stuff.
Hey, man, I hope I could be next to the bed with these guys, man. Like, hey, we all train together, we die together, Because it is a brothership, man. Like, look at this, man. Like, who knew that we could do this, man? As we talk to each other, we show respect to each other no matter what. Even Thomas, me and him and Thomas can shoot the shit, go off for a drink, but when it comes to when he puts on that gi, and then Thomas, and you'll hear me say it, I will always say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I always use those respectful words, man. Even in public, anybody that knows me and really hangs out with me, Frankie's using yes ma'am, no sir. It's because that's the old school way, and the old school way was, it might be some. I mean, our past, sadly was some shit was wrong, but now some shit we need to go back to.
I mean,
especially with this. Especially when these younger generations that, you're trying to disrespect your older people. Like, come on, guys.
Even like for me, it's
I jump in. You said the younger generation is disrespecting older generation. Exactly like that video we've seen just now, right? That little girl was yanking on the arm of that older lady. I'm joking.
Hey, she shouldn't have pushed her in the face.
That's a sport.
She shouldn't have pushed her in the face.
She should have respected. Okay, no, I'm joking.
Hey, respect goes two ways. Look, if you're gonna push me in the face, you're showing you're disrespecting me. So
you don't care how old you are, right? There is no.
I don't care.
That older woman is more immature than the kid.
Who knows? It could be like an 80-year-old judo practitioner, and once you disrespect me, you've crossed the line.
This is why I always say show respect every day, even if it's the smallest, like yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And somebody might be having a bad day, but you always try to show that positivity and show that respect and be like, because people look at you, especially if you're a guy that glows, like, Frankie's very respectful. Wale is very respectful. Mitt is very respectful. Like, because of how we hold ourselves,
Like, for example, I always try to be on time, like right before class starts, 10, 15 minutes, never late. I mean, maybe if there's an accident, traffic or something.
Unless you're talking to Jordan in the parking lot, then he makes you late.
Yeah. I'm calling these guys. I'm like, get in.
Yeah. I mean, even till now, like I sweep and mop down the mats. I'm not above that. Like, and it doesn't matter what belt color I am. It's for everybody. Things like that.
But sometimes you gotta pass down that mop to that younger. Like, hey man, this is what we do. So we try to help out.
Hey Frankie, mop those mats, man.
I used to at Pentagon. I used to when I was first, like, because I needed this. I wanted to prove myself that there's nothing wrong. But I wanted, but to me, I wanted to prove that, hey, I respect this place. I respect it as my home, so I'm gonna take care of it like it's my home.
So when I came back to Pentagon in November, I came back around November. I saw Master Sugi mopping the mats. I was like, oh, that's not right.
That's happened,
not right.
And I think
that's been always like that at Pentagon.
I think
been always like that.
I think like Master Sugi was mopping the mat or some high belt, and Master Isaac was like, and Master Isaac was like, he called like one of the white belts. It's like, hey, what are you guys doing? Just walking off the mat and letting the high belt,
Yeah. So
guys,
when
hold on
I saw
a second.
that,
Gil,
I stole the
hold
mop
on.
from him. Yeah.
Hold on. Just a reminder, like one at a time, because the sound quality when it translates to YouTube, like if multiple people are talking, we're not going to be able to hear anybody.
Yeah, we're just so excited, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry. It's just a reminder.
You gotta be more civilized.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day we can do like a live, where we all can be together and do, where we can actually watch each other and whatnot.
Yeah, at a table somewhere.
Yeah. What were you saying, Gil?
No, I was just saying. When I came back here in November, I saw Master Sugi mopping the mats. I was like, that's not right. So I took the mop from him, and I started doing it.
That never occurred to me. But when I started Pentagon, he would always mop, right before the class.
Yeah.
Because that was their responsibilities. But as students, and if you were a true martial artist, you take that from him and be like, look, Master, don't do this. Take your break and do this. It's nothing.
To me, it just looked wrong. It didn't look right. So
it does.
I can't watch him do that.
No.
I mean, there are people who go there for a workout, and there are people who go there for a lifestyle.
Right.
The people who go there for a workout, they don't care about stuff like that. And again, it goes back to like what Frankie was saying. I think martial arts needs to keep certain traditions so that it separates the people who are just there for fun and those people who are serious about it.
Yep.
And the people that are serious about it, those guys are the blue belts, the higher ranking belts, and the people that are just there for a workout, they only last like a year, maybe tops. But yeah, I think showing respect and showing, respect to your hires should be number one priority.
Over the years, I've noticed, like, you can kind of tell when someone's going to stick around. Not 100% of the time, but if you just watch their body language and how they look at the end of class, like their face, you can usually pick out the guys and gals who are not going to stick with it.
It makes me sad, like when someone leaves. To be honest, it's like even if they weren't there for that long, else they're trash. But anyway, if they're decent people, it kind of makes me sad because it's just like you are missing out on a lot.
Yeah, but it's not for everyone.
It's not. Yeah, sure.
That's true. But this But this is where you reach out to people, man. Like, people that you do care about. Hey, man, are you gonna come to train again? Are you gonna come to train? Are you gonna hey, man, I miss you. Come train one night, And yes, you're bringing business back to the gym, but yeah, you're still you actually care about the person.
Sugi did that to me like couple times during the pandemic.
Exactly, Sugi does that to me all the time.
I stopped going because like I was kind of scared. Like, you should come back. Anyway, but yeah, you need that sometimes.
Yeah. BJJ folks can be a little obsessed about BJJ, and that might scare some people off, but it's just kind of like you see someone new in class, like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? How are you? Hope you're enjoying the class, blah, blah, blah. That I could see that freaking some people out, but yeah.
So the biggest mistake that I see with new folks is that a lot of the more established students at gyms don't necessarily talk to the new guys. And that's a big mistake, because you might have someone who has the potential of being an excellent training partner who just gets turned off because nobody says anything to him.
Yeah.
So for a long while, and I still do this, like if I see somebody new, I'll go up and like chit chat with them a little bit, just a little bit, that can make the difference either way for some people.
It's like me and Gil, man. Me and Gil, we got into it,
And I honestly think that's it's an actual responsibility of higher belts is to do that. Well, once you get to a certain level, I think that's just your responsibility. Yeah.
I think Pentagon's a lot bigger school, so even now, I've been coming here for like every month. Still don't have half the people there right now. So it's because it's just such a big school, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a little harder to do that there. Yeah.
Well,
there's just a lot of turnaround at that. Because of government and people that are like stationed here or whatnot. Yeah.
Well, also you have to factor in just also gym culture, because of all the big brother schools that I've been to, it seems like there's a distinct gym culture each one, and Pentagon seems to be just part of it just happens to be a high turnover rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
mean, nothing against that with that school. It's just the area that they're in,
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's because they're in Arlington. That's why.
Yeah.
A lot of young professionals close to Pentagon.
Yeah. Those
20s and 30s.
Yeah.
Who want to get a good workout?
Yeah,
that's how I started. But there's a positive too, You can, but certain people they're gonna stick around.
So I like my little hole in the wall at Sugi's.
Question. What was the turning point for you when you thought, okay, I'm going to do this for life?
For me?
I'll go first. Or I'll go after Frankie.
No, go ahead. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
I'm just making noises, man.
So I did judo for 9 years, right? And then I quit about 21, 22. And then I became a dancer for 10 years, and then I stopped that. But after I stopped that, I really, really missed judo. But I also found out that the judo rules that I had trained under had changed. So, for example, when I trained judo, you could grab the legs, you could grab the pants legs, the pants, and it was perfectly fine. So the judo that I did, that I wanted to do, didn't necessarily exist anymore. So I was pushed to take a 45-minute class at an MMA gym, and it was jiu-jitsu. Well, I didn't really know anything about Brazilian jiu-jitsu at the time. It just happened to be something I never really looked into. So I thought it was something completely different. So when I finally stopped being a prick and actually took the class, because I showed up maybe 10, 15 minutes early, And I was stubborn, and I was like, I don't want to do this. So I waited 10 minutes after the class started to actually go in. And after I realized, oh, this is very similar to Newaza, the judo ground fighting. And I was hooked. I was like, yeah, I got it. I'm not letting this go again. Because one of the biggest regrets of my life was actually stopping judo. So that's my story. That's my answer. Next.
Can you repeat the question again, Wole?
What was the moment where you thought to yourself, I'm going to be doing jiu-jitsu for life, or for at least a very long time?
Go ahead, Gil.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I remember like my first 9 months of training, I was at Pentagon, right? And I still remember like this is like I came to jiu-jitsu right after powerlifting. So I just constantly had stamina problems the entire 9 months. Like I had problems rolling like it's an entire round. So I wasn't really, I didn't feel myself improving much during this time. So I always thought about quitting too. And then all of a sudden COVID hit, right? And then I took like a 1.5 year break up time off. And then I came back. And then this time it was a little different because now I lost some weight and I could see my stamina improving a little by little. I could last 5 minute round and I could see myself improving. I'm just picking up technique here, technique there, and I just see myself gradually improving more and more and more. And then one day I just realized, wow, this is same as life. Like life itself is like this. It's similar, very similar to jujitsu, where you like, even at work too, like the way you pick up skills and stuff. It's very similar. And now after like thinking about it in this way, that's the point I started getting hooked. And that's probably like a couple months ago now for me.
Nice.
Okay, I think the moment that I thought I was going to do this forever was when I had to make a change in my life, that I had to stop doing bad shit and I had to stop doing, dumb things. So I got into Muay Thai. Well, I did Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu for a little bit, but Jiu-Jitsu didn't catch my attention until Stewie came around. But yeah, then I became full time. Well, I was there almost every day, and yeah, I think I knew the moment I hit somebody in the face with a glove, and saying, yeah, I can do this for forever now, man. And I'm happy that I'm doing it because, like I said, if it wasn't for Sugi and the people that have trained me, like Chun and all of them, I'll be paying $1.75 at the jail. The prices probably went up at the jail.
Inflation.
Yeah.
Inflation.
No,
but yeah, I
think
think yeah. Go ahead, Gil.
Yeah, I just realized. Another thing I realized was I've always played some kind of sport all my life, pretty much. When I was young, I started with tennis. I was a competitive tennis player back then. In my 20s, I played soccer and basketball. Just
Yeah, he's lagging bad.
Yeah.
So I've always played sports, but I kind of realized I can't do this anymore. Like, oh, am I lagging? Am I still lagging? Good?
Yeah.
No?
Okay.
Okay,
You're
next
good
person then.
All
Am I good now? Okay. Yeah, so one thing I realized was like after like 35, I couldn't play basketball or soccer anymore. Those sports are like young people sports. And then I got powerlifting, and powerlifting wasn't for me either because like I'm not gifted with like genetics for powerlifting. So now I think I started doing jiu-jitsu to like keep doing this like
Yeah, it's very laggy.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Next person then.
Go ahead, Mitt. Go ahead.
I've been thinking. I don't think there is like one moment where I like made up my mind. But overall, like since I started, I think I've seen a lot of benefits. You know, just like rolling that tunnel vision, being, you know, flow state and discipline, and learning like all these techniques and learning to control yourself and just not panicking, and you know, like the Dunning and Kruger effect, like as you learn, you realize how much there is to learn. You know, in the beginning you're very confident. All these things, it just makes it a nice sport. And I also like like sports. You know, I wouldn't just go to gym and lift weights and stuff. I don't find that and you know, fulfilling. I do it to sport jiu-jitsu, but I need a sport like, you know, the tennis. Like I need to chase a ball. I need to like fight with someone or like grapple with someone. Like it has to be an activity. Then I don't realize how time passes. But yeah, it's a nice act. Like I'm hooked. I don't know why. Hopefully I can do it forever. I don't know. We will see. It's not easy to get out of your comfort zone.
You know where his life changed was when he got that blue belt.
Yeah. Hey, Mitt, I want to say thank you to you for something, because last time I rolled with you gave me a tip. Remember, you said your first competition you were excited and all that, but your second one you were relaxed, right? I kept thinking about that entire competition, and then my third one I was finally able to do that. I was relaxed, like you told me, so that helped a lot, and I keep thinking about what you told me that day. Thank you.
When you look at the videos, it's more obvious. Like that's how I realized that. But my first and the second one was, you know, there was like a year and a half in between them, maybe more, because of the pandemic. I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I like it.
What are you saying? What does that say? I can't read.
I might look like I'm listening, but in my head, I'm doing jiu-jitsu.
That's funny.
But yeah, I started like 2018, late 2018. So it's been a while, 3 years, 3.5 years or something. Yeah.
I think talking about how long it's been. I think for me it's been over 7 years. And there's a new student somewhere, and they're asking me how long have I been doing jiu-jitsu, and I was like, about 7 years. And she's like, and you're still a blue belt? I was like, wow, that hurt a little.
The thing is, like you never realize. I feel like yesterday I just don't think about it, just show up, and you look back. Oh shit, it's been more than 3 years. And I've been involved with jiu-jitsu.
I started doing Muay Thai first, so it's maybe been about 6 years doing just jiu-jitsu, because it was right before my daughter was born. But I think for me, what changed is I had something happen. I don't know. I just stopped going to classes, and it's one of those things where I said, I'll go. And that turned out to be, I think, almost a year that I took off just not going. And like Thomas was saying, I was missing it. You know, you start getting pissed off and you don't know why, and then you realize, oh, I haven't been to jiu-jitsu in a while.
Oh yeah.
And then just like,
oh yeah, I know.
You know, and just
see,
like,
what ended up happening was you got a leg kick from me. That's what happened. Yeah. I was like, maybe I sparred with you or something. Oh, maybe. Oh God! Hilarious.
Thomas with the white belt on.
Look at Thomas,
Ben
bro.
Ben's still
oh my goodness.
When was this?
Awesome.
This is an old picture someone sent me.
I can see that it's old. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Huh?
Thomas was a lot bigger back then.
Yeah, it's like
Nazar.
I was like,
Nazar was a beast, man. That dude's a beast.
He still is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. Wole's a white belt. Ben is still a white
God.
belt. I'm a white belt.
I don't even think I have stripes on my white belt.
No, you.
Oh, that's Wole. Wole, I didn't recognize you right away.
I know.
Yeah.
Nah,
That is
Wale, you lost a lot of
hilarious.
weight too, bud.
Yeah, I did. And then
Yeah.
I gained it all back because of COVID time.
See, I was
times.
when this picture was being taken, I was in the back. I was in the front.
Yeah, you were
Somebody in
doing.
the face.
Wally, are you still going to Pentagon?
For now, yes. Yeah.
I'm
I
just curious where you're
think
training at.
yeah.
Was I
So sorry, go ahead.
was I already there, Wale, when you started? Was I already there when you started?
Yeah, you were doing Muay Thai. I think so. Yeah, I believe you. Yeah, you were already there because you're there when Gonzalo was there and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there for a long time. I was there for a long time.
So for me, the issue is getting out there to Pentagon because I'm in DC, and like my schedule has just changed so much. So I'm only going maybe like Fridays. I am training also up here at Capital too, but eventually I'm going to move just because it's just so hard for me to get out there, and like my daughter's schedule too, and everybody's schedule just does not line up right now, and it makes me sad to think about it. So.
DC people don't like to cross that bridge.
Should come to Shanti with a chopper.
Yeah.
From DC.
I wish I could because like Chantilly is even further out. But I mean, I've been there since I started, and it's family to me, It's
So the rule is if you weren't born in the DMV, Maryland does not go into DC or Virginia. DC does not go into Virginia or Maryland. Virginia doesn't go into Maryland unless you have to. Personally, I hate DC and I hate Maryland because I was born here in Virginia.
The thing is, like, that shows you, the level of level of skill there and the camaraderie there is that I've been willing to drive, and if my schedule wasn't all messed up and stuff, I would still be doing it. I've been willing to drive through traffic 40 minutes a day to go there. Yeah.
You can't do the Gracie online classes and get your blue.
Behave. I don't want any Gracies showing up in my house.
I'm joking, man.
Hey, so do you guys hear how I stumble onto Master Sugi's gym?
That was so funny.
So it was pandemic era, and I work in Chantilly, and I was like, man, I can't make it out to Pentagon, and I was quote unquote dating somebody, but anyway, that's a whole different story. Anyways, I was like, man, there must be like a martial arts gym out here where I work. so I ended up going into like Google and whatnot, and I typed in Muay Thai first, and I saw Lotus, and I was like, nah, I ain't going there. So I typed up MMA gym. I was like, all right, let me type up MMA gym, and then all of a sudden here comes up Chantilly MMA. I'm like, oh, okay, there's an MMA. Okay, let me see what they got. So I start scrolling, and I'm like, let me go look at the instructors, and I look, I'm like, that's Sugi. And I was like, yo, that's Sugi. I'm like, yo, that's Sugi's gym. And I messaged him. I'm like, Sugi, is this your gym? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, I want to come in. He's like, I'm not open right now because he's a bed. I was like, shit. And I was like, he's like, but I'll let you know when I open. I was like, all right. So then he opened and he shot me a text, and I was like, all right, I'm coming through. And I've been every day ever since.
Yeah, I saw Frankie showed up one day, and back then we didn't have like any adults. Like there was like me and this other Mongolian kid. And Frankie showed up. I'm like, oh, like what brought you here? He's like, I found it on Google. What a small world, man. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that end of the month rolling though. And
Yes.
Oh, on that note, I moved
End
it
of the
to
month
the
rolling.
I moved it to the first Friday in March so that
Okay.
Jordan and everybody could come.
What is this?
See, why are you gonna invite Jordan, man? Jordan hurts people, man. Even when he doesn't want to, he does. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh no, Mitt, we're having an alumni and friends open mat in Woodbridge.
Oh,
Who's bringing beers?
At Dallas?
Yeah, it's completely unofficial and unsanctioned. We're all just gonna kind of show up.
Which gym?
Leo Dallas in Woodbridge.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They won't mind. They won't care.
First Friday of March, I think there's a tournament. Or that weekend there's a tournament.
There is?
Don't ruin that moment.
The
Copa.
fifth.
Copa.
I thought
Fifth is
Copa was
Copa.
Just go there and roll light. Yeah, just roll light.
Did you guys say Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
Friday night. Yeah.
So
I'm thinking about doing Copa if my back gets better. Let's say.
So if it's Friday, it's probably the last roll, like last aggressive roll, probably at Leo Dallas for that tournament. So we're gonna be pretty banged up on that day, boys.
So I go there pretty often. Those guys over, they don't roll hard. They go.
They're really
light.
smooth.
They roll lightly. Yeah, they're smooth.
Well, here comes
Well, Frankie is coming in.
Well, we'll talk about
My
it.
neck still hurts, Frankie, from the neck cramp. Like I couldn't move the next day.
I didn't neck crank you. No, I shoulder pressured. Shoulder pressure.
Anyway, let's not debate.
You accuse me of neck cranking.
Gentlemen,
if my head was a watermelon, it would like explode.
You gotta go see a chiropractor.
Guys, if it makes more sense to move,
I had to get a massage. You owe me some.
if it makes more sense to move the open mat to the 11th of March, that might be a better idea. I don't want anyone to be like stressed out over a competition or anything.
I'm fine.
You're fine with that?
My parents are coming, so on the 6th, like the next day after the tournament, my parents are coming. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to train like a couple of weeks, few weeks. But I'll make it. I'll make it to Woodbridge to the upper mat on Friday. Definitely.
We'll just keep it on the.
We get
on the 4th.
We're going to the
4th. Yeah.
How we say we're going to the motherland of Big Brothers.
Mothership.
No, I'm down.
Is that what it is? The mothership. The mothership.
I've been once. It's really good.
I haven't been.
I never been there.
I met Master Dalla. I met Master like I've shook, so we've talked and stuff like that, but I've never really been there. I know they come to I know they came down to Pentagon for like fight team training with Troy.
Yeah.
Troy is I think there's their MMA fighter. He's really good.
Is it their open mats are Fridays?
Yeah, they have one Friday and then they have one
on my
Saturday.
And there's a Grindhouse open mat on Sundays.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Grindhouse?
I think it's just an open mat.
I'll tell you a funny story. My first time I went to Leo Dallas, Muhammad Ali shows up, and I thought this gym was crazy. Because I saw him just like throwing Troy around, and it was fun. It was crazy. That guy is crazy good. Yeah.
Like if these are the regulars, what am I doing here?
Yeah, I was like, what am I doing? Like, there's like 2 white belts there, me and another guy, and then I see a world champion just like throwing brown belts around. It was an interesting like sight to see that. That was on my first day there.
And there are guys who beat him.
I didn't see him after that.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
There's always
Troy?
a bigger fish.
No, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, there are guys who beat Muhammad Ali too.
Yeah, that's
On
crazy.
YouTube, yeah.
Did Sugi roll with him when he came for the seminar? I can't remember.
Sugi used to train him when he was 16, is what I heard.
Yeah.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, judo. He used to learn judo from Master Sugi when he was 16.
Yo, did you guys see that picture I posted up on the group today? Or the Chantilly group? I didn't know.
Oh,
I
yeah.
knew that. I was like, yo, this kid looks familiar. And then y'all were like, yeah, that was the guy from last night. I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay.
You're talking about the kid? I thought you were talking about Mia.
No, I know Master Mia. And I know both of his sons. Actually, I used to train one of his sons, Doggo, for like strength and conditioning. But no, the kid that was in first place in that picture, he rolled with us yesterday. He's a blue belt apparently in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's like
a world
champion.
Yeah,
or
world
something.
champ. Yeah.
Mongolian guy?
Mhm.
Yeah, the Mongolian kid. Yeah.
Yeah, I know this guy. Yeah, I rode with him. He was jumping around.
Yeah, he had that. He had the Mongolian. He had a Mongolian patch on the back of his gi last night.
Yeah. And when I first rolled with him, he had a white belt. I'm like, you're not a white belt. He's like, yeah, I forgot my belt.
Yeah.
Do you see,
but he was like jumping around, but he's good.
Do you see
and I drove him back home. He lives here.
The picture of Master Mia's son with the all the medals.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not his son.
It's not his son.
So
I thought it was.
No, it's not one of his boys.
Yeah, no, his boys. Well, his oldest is that man has good work ethic, man. I threw everything hard at him when we were training for his one tournament, man. Man, I was pushing him hard. He it was like 2 hours straight up. Dude, this kid was strong, man. Master Mia's kids are no joke, man.
Dude, I need some serious conditioning.
I
need some too.
I could take you guys and show you a couple things, man. But
I would like that actually. I would like that.
Yeah.
If you could go, we live nearby. Like I live next door to Dako. He lives like next building. Mia lives like next door.
Shit.
We could go train one day. Like I would love to like learn some like more stuff. I have like certain things. I know certain things, but I could show you what I know, and then you could show me like additional things. That would be amazing because I've been keep doing the same things for past year. I'm like, I'm bored.
I switch it up all the time. I like every day. Every time we go train, it's something different. But it's like it keeps you sore. You're like, dang, man, I didn't know it was this hard. But that kid in the blue there.
Frankie, was this
Master Mia's son?
No.
No. That's not.
Was this a judo competition or a jiu-jitsu competition?
I think this is a judo competition.
Yeah, probably.
He's got a blue belt on.
Well, he was younger there, very young.
Well, it's a jiu-jitsu blue belt. He's got the black bar. Either way, yeah.
Either way, but he's really good. Show Master Mia's kids, Thomas.
I know one of them, Doko, right? Yeah, I've rolled with him before.
Yeah. Doko's a beast, man.
Judo is really good.
Yeah.
BJ's stand-up is amazing. Like for a little kid, like the first day I met with him, Bilge, I didn't know, right?
So that's his. Yeah. That's his youngest.
Yeah, that's
oh my goodness. That's all his medals.
Yeah, and he was shorter.
Yeah, that's the picture I was talking about.
Yeah, so he was shorter. Right? So I went back to Chantilly. This is after the pandemic. We had like a ton of new people coming in. Before the pandemic, like there was not a lot of people, only few. Anyway, so this kid comes in. Anyway, we were doing stand up. I think it's my like second or third time going back. And he's short. That in that picture, he's tall. He grew like so much in the past year too. Anyway, I'm just taking it easy, and then he does drop saw again, like just throws me. I'm like, what is happening? And I went like airborne, literally. This kid half my size. I'm like, what is happening? And then Sugu told me, "Oh, that's Mia's son." I'm like, "Yeah, makes sense."
Yeah, I know this guy. He's a beast. Yeah, this guy is. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's Mia's older son.
Yeah. So hold on. I want to send Thomas a video of his oldest training with me, and kid's a beast.
Yeah, I want to come to Chantilly and get tossed around by some Mongolians.
So
Sambo champions.
You gotta hang with the big boys though, like Dafka and Osco. Like,
yeah,
that's a different kind of ass whooping right there.
Yeah, Frankie deals with those boys all the time.
What are you sending me, Frankie?
I'm sending you a video of Dago training.
Yeah, he posted
with me at the I think I don't remember what tournament it was, but he wanted to get like stronger, and I was like, I got you, bud.
Who's going to open mat tomorrow?
And he was looking good, man. He was looking really lean, really strong.
I was going to go to Centerville tomorrow. Yeah. I haven't seen those guys in a while.
I'll probably go to Chantilly though.
I'm on daddy duty, so I can't go anywhere.
Frankie, are you coming?
No, I work tomorrow.
Oh. Oleg,
I gotta do.
Yeah, sadly.
You can get your fantasies fulfilled, you know.
Well, I did come for open mat, and it was just you regular folk. You know, it was like
I met you, Wally, that day. Yeah. I remember meeting you that day. The day I came.
I was like, man, I know these people.
Actually, the open mat attendance is really low in Chantilly. Probably because all those people live in Arlington. They have families, they have kids, so it's very difficult to like leave during the day, like noon to 5 p.m.
Master Sugi should just be like, okay, I'm gonna teach everything in Mongolian now. You all have to learn Mongolian.
He does. He talks in Mongolian. And sometimes you pick up words. It's like, I know
shit. You guys going to start understanding Mongolian pretty soon.
Well,
yeah, pretty much.
I'll tell you this: like a couple of the guys started calling me Baksha. I thought it was like an insult, like call me like a bastard or something. Like how like you're friends with somebody and you're like, hey man, whatever, you dumb SOB. Like kind of like that, but it actually means teacher. So I felt bad. I felt bad, like thinking it was like a jab.
You didn't ask what it meant? You should have asked.
What? Oh so no, part of me didn't want to know.
means butthole. What are you gonna do?
It means like horse's ass or something,
So funny.
That's export, right? From Colombia.
Yeah.
Right?
No, Alexandria.
Oh, okay. King Street.
You put a reel together for him?
Yeah, we did like a couple circuits. Yeah.
Can we do this please together? One weekend or one day?
Yeah.
Even
yeah, I got you.
We go to. I'll take you to my gym and you show me like I show you what I do fine. And then we can show me stuff.
The crazy thing is he might look a little wiry, but he's actually really strong.
Yeah, he got really
most
strong
of them like that. All of them are like that.
Yeah,
I know that. Yeah.
So this was like
I think we all, whoever rolled with him, felt it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was like week 2 of us training, and I think we had like 6 weeks. So towards the end, he was looking like really lean, really tough, man.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. All right, gentlemen, it is after midnight.
Yes, this was a crazy podcast. Man.
It is.
Tonight was crazy.
It is time.
The reason.
Wole, final thoughts.
Oh man, I love you guys.
It was fun.
I love you too, man. I love the fuck out of y'all.
Gil, final thoughts.
We love you too.
Why is everybody
Final
saying
thoughts.
they love me?
Stay with stay.
It has
I
to
do
be
this
said,
to
man.
Thomas.
Yeah.
When he comes into the gym, he's always late.
Yeah.
I do this and he gets annoyed.
Purple belt privilege, sir. Mitt, final thoughts.
Well, this was fun. And of course, I love you guys. Hopefully, we get to all spend more time in the gym together.
Mm-hmm.
But these conversations are really fun.
Yeah, Frankie, final thoughts.
Man, I gotta show the love tonight, man. Love the fuck out of you guys, man. I would go to the moon and back with you guys, man, any day. And yeah, just show respect and show love, man. That's all I can say.
All right, that's another one for YouTube. All I'm going to say is thank you guys. It's been great, and stay away from my knees, all you bastards. All of you. I don't want to see it. No knee bars or anything.
Thank you,
right.
Thomas, for putting this together, man.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Thomas.
Thank you, Thomas.
bud.
Oh, just a reminder about the Alumni and Friends Open Mat, the completely unofficial, like not really sanctioned one, and we're gonna have t-shirts coming. So
Nice.
I'm gonna do 10
good.
designs, and I guess I'll put them up on Teespring or something to make it easy. But yeah, that should work out pretty well. So, anyways, see y'all later.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.